All right, welcome back. This unit, we're going to be using our trig ratios. So everything you learned last lesson, we're going to use to actually solve sides and angles that are missing from a triangle. So looking at this first one, always the first thing that I do, no matter if you're trying to find side lengths or angle lengths, I pick a theta. Now, I usually use the angle that they give me or the angle that they're asking for as theta. It just saves you a little bit of work. You could pick this as theta, the other angle is theta, and you could find that angle measure. If you just subtract the 90 degrees and the 48 degrees from 180, you'll find that angle. But we're just going to make it easy and grab or put theta right there where they've already given you an angle measure. All right, then we just label our triangle. Same words as yesterday's lesson. We're going to say, okay, across from my right angle, here's my right angle. Across from that, we're going to call this our hypotenuse. Across from my theta, we'll write opposite, and that leaves the 17 to be the adjacent side. All right, next thing I'm going to do is throw up on the notes here my acronym, SOHCAHTOA. Do you guys all love to say that? SOHCAHTOA. All right, see how fast you can say it, like 12 times in a row. What this is going to help us for, notice that they don't really tell us anything about the hypotenuse. They didn't give us the length. They're not asking us to find it. All they want us to do is find this opposite side. So that's really just kind of there to, because there's three sides of a triangle. What you're really interested in is this adjacent side that they gave you and the opposite side that you're trying to find. So when you look at these two letters, note right here, you've got an A and an O. So you want to use a trig ratio that uses the A and the O, not the O and the H, not the A and the H, the O and the A right there. So you're going to use that tangent, that TOA. So please remember what TOA actually stands for. I'm going to write this out. I won't write it out every single problem, but let's write it out this time. T stands for the tangent of theta. That is going to be equal to the O, we'll just write opposite instead of O, over the adjacent. Okay, so when we say TOA, this is really what we're thinking in our heads, okay, that the tangent of an angle equals opposite over adjacent. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to go fill in the angle, the opposite, and the adjacent. Okay, so the only thing that really stays the same is going to be the word tangent. All right, so you have to know an angle, or you have to know both sides. There can only be one missing thing of those three things. So right here, our angle that we call theta, we use that 48 degrees as our theta. That is equal to the opposite, which was my x, I don't know the opposite side, divided by the adjacent side, which is the 17 right there. All right, now this looks nice and tricky right here, but this is actually almost done. Okay, I'm going to tell you really quickly. Well, let's tell you before we finish the problem. This is just a number. This is a value. And your calculator has memorized what the tangent of any angle measure is. So your calculator can tell you what this is. I cannot tell you what that is, but your calculator knows. I'm going to leave it as a tangent of 48 for one more minute, though, because I want to get x by itself. I'm trying to get x equals, not x divided by 17 equals. So we're going to get rid of this divided by 17. Okay, so we're going to multiply both sides here by 17. And I always put it at the first, so then you don't have to close parentheses up here. So just put 17 times the tangent of 48. Those 17s go. So my x here is just equal to 17 times the tangent of 48 degrees. And you just plug this straight into your calculator, exactly like that. So on my calculator, I've got a 17 in any calculator. It doesn't have to be a nice fancy graphing one. I think any calculator I've seen, even on your phones, have a tangent button. So you're just going to hit 17 and then tangent of 48. You don't even have to close the parentheses because you're done. Just hit enter and it will give you 18.88. Let's round to the nearest tenth. Let's round to one decimal place. Now, if your calculator did not give you this value, it might not be your calculator's fault. It might just be in the wrong mode. So please make sure if you don't get this answer, check that the mode on your calculator, it should be in degrees. Okay, so we're working with degrees this year. Next year, we'll work with something called radians. So some of your calculators might be in radians. It's a default. but just hit the mode button on your calculator and make sure that degrees is what is underlined. Okay, and then you should get 18.9 as that side length right there. All right, next example coming up in the next video.